First song on the album, Amduat, was a song I used to call the Uriah Heep song when I was working on it. I thought it had some sort of Uriah Heep feel to it. And I think that's where I got the idea to put in the choir part that's in the middle of the song, as those choirs are very much Uriah Heep in my book. The lyric of the song comes from Egyptian mythology, and it's about the soul's journey through the night to be reborn. Basically, I just think that any proper metal band should have a song based on old, ancient Egyptian mythology. So that's where that came from. The drummer on this song is an old friend of mine, Fredrik Rönholm. I thought the song needed a sort of Ian Pace kind of drumming, and I knew he would be perfect for that, and he was. I get a lot of questions on how I found Pelle. The story goes that I've known Pelle and his brother Erik for the better part of 20 years, 25 years, something like that. Those two guys were, you ran into them on Maiden shows and Maiden conventions, that sort of stuff. So we got to know them. I knew that Pelle was a singer, but doing this kind of black metal vocals. And I didn't really know that he could sing properly, like with a proper clean voice. But a mutual friend of ours, Micke Persson on TPL Records, pointed me in his direction. He knew that I was trying to find someone to sing, because I wasn't really satisfied with my own vocal performance. So he said that you should listen to this Mercy tribute that Pelle did, recorded in Motala. So I checked that out, and literally within minutes I phoned him up and said, hey, I'm working on this old school type of heavy metal project. Would you be interested in trying out? And he was. Next song, second song on the album is a song called Concrete Sky. Concrete Sky was a song that I originally did with another band I play in called Onda Radio. The version that you hear on the Expect Nothing album is that recording we did with Onda Radio. So that's why it's me on drums. I play guitar and I play the bass, of course, and also on rhythm guitar is my friend in Onda Radio, Jonas Hansson. And I didn't see any point in replacing his rhythm guitar tracks, as they were good enough. So we based the Dead Kosmonaut version on that song. Concrete Sky, the idea behind the lyrics is that, much to my amazement, I find that many people are content of living within the strict boundaries of a religion, that they really enjoy being told how to behave and what to do, which to me is a bit strange, really. But that's the thought behind the lyric to Concrete Sky. The music for Concrete Sky comes from the bass track. You can hear there's an, at least to me, quite obvious Geezer Butler influence from particularly the song Born Again, from the Born Again album. There's also a fair bit of Joey DeMaio bass playing from the song Mountains. And so with these bass chords, I did a song, the music for the song. Craving Mad was one of the original songs I did when I recorded the Astrakhan demo back in 2006. You have to understand that the reason why there are so many different musicians playing on Expect Nothing is because that album was recorded more or less as a project rather than as a band. I asked favors from friends to record parts for me. Vital to Dead Kosmonaut, to the project as of then, is and still is Fredrik Folkare, who managed to bring order out of the chaos that is all those recordings recorded on different places in different times using different sort of setups. I mean, without his ability to do a mix out of it, it wouldn't have been an album. And that was one of my worries during the process, that if it would actually sound like an album in the end. But Fredrik is a master of his craft, and he pulled it off, of course. Fredrik is also the guy that plays most of the guitar solos on the album, and he's a brilliant guitar player. I mean, I can't praise him enough. I got to know Fredrik through Henrik Johansson. Henrik is a drummer now in Dead Kosmonaut, and he plays drums on most of the songs on Expect Nothing, as he played the drums on the Astrakhan demo that, like I said before, turned into the Expect Nothing album. Fredrik and Henrik, I think, went to school for a year or two, and they've stayed in touch since then. They're from the same part of Sweden. Okay, last on side one is the instrumental song, Gameton. Gameton was one of two instrumental tracks I had to do a choice in between, and I thought that Gameton was perhaps not the better one, but the one that fitted the album the best. And making an album is very, very important. You have to be careful how to pace an album with how tracks go in and out. And I thought this was the better one for the album. It's me on guitars and bass, and it's Henrik on drums. The solo guitar is played by Per Fransson. Per is now in Dead Kosmonaut, of course. And he's, just like Fredrik, a brilliant guitar player. The music of Gameton and the different musical themes in Gameton is influenced by different bands. So I thought it would be fitting to name the band after a radio station, as I thought they were me being the radio station, picking up different frequencies and picking up different influences from different bands. Gameton, as I said, is a radio station, and it's in the south of Sweden. It's on the UNESCO World Heritage List, so you should Google it or go there. It's really, really cool. Okay, we've turned side. Now it's side 2. It's the opening track, side 2. It's Time is the Wound. Time is the Wound is also one of those songs from that first Astrakhan demo. I think that Time is the Wound it's my favorite riff. Maybe not my favorite song, but it's definitely my favorite riff on the album. I really like that. Like I said before, Henrik Johansson is the drummer on most of the songs on the album. Henrik and me go way back. We met at an Bruce Dickinson concert in Stockholm, and we've stayed in contact and played in bands ever since, actually. So he's my go-to guy whenever I need help with drumming or something music. Actually, me, Henrik, Fredrik, and Per Fransson, who is also playing the solo on this song, used to be in an Iron Maiden covers band called Strangers in a Strange Band. And playing with those guys has always been really, really nice. I think it's one of the best outfits that I've ever played in. So it's been, when I started to work on what became Dead Kosmonaut, it felt really natural to me to ask these guys to help me out. Second track on side 2 is Dead Man Walking. Dead Man Walking has this quite obvious early Black Sabbath feel to it, and I think that's what inspired the lyrics for it, about how we are destroying our planet and polluting ourselves. There's also some cunning puns about doom dancing, referring to Candlemass, of course. Guitar solo on this song is played by Per Brodesson. Per Brodesson is a childhood friend of mine, and we used to play along with Henrik in a band called Book of Hours many years ago. Per is a very, very talented musician, and when we released the album, he became a member of the band and played a few shows for us. Song House of Lead is a song about someone being locked up and the reasons behind being so. Some people have said they think that although they like this song, they think it's a bit of an odd song for a heavy metal album. But really, in my book, that if you go back and listen to those bands that literally invented heavy metal, bands like I mentioned before, Uriah Heep, you have Black Sabbath, of course, and Judas Priest, of course. They, back in the 70s at least, used to have those acoustic songs, those ballads. So I thought that when I was working on this album, I want to have a song like that as well. So I came up with this song. Playing the upright on House of Lead is a friend of mine, John Seamus Gaffney. I think his upright bass really adds to the song and the feel of the song. He also came up with his arrangement for the song. Now we've come to the very last song on the album, Grey Hole. Grey Hole is also one of these tracks from the original Asta Khan demo. I've been asked why Johan Landqvist, Candlemass singer, he wasn't actually in Candlemass when we recorded this song, but he for sure had sung on the first Candlemass album, Epicus, Domicus, Metallicus, which is a huge source of inspiration for me. At that time, the plan was that I should do the vocals myself. It was before I had found Pelle and he had agreed to record for me. And I thought to myself, I'm not a great singer, but I wanted to have a real singer at least on one song. I'm not in a position that I can call Bruce Dickinson or Rob Halford, any of these guys. But I did knew how to get in touch with Johan. So I asked him, and he, much to my surprise and joy, agreed to do the vocals. The album cover. Yeah, at first, this photograph taken by me was supposed to be on the front of the album. I asked Pelle's brother Erik to help me out with some of the illustrations. I asked him to do an illustration of an apple with small skulls as pips. Instead of the pips, I wanted small skulls. It didn't really look that good as I had imagined. So he sent me this instead. And you know, I saw it and thought that that's the cover of the album. It's a much more striking image. The theme of the illustrations comes from, you know, vanity, that all things die, literally. In all things life, there's also death. And the lesson is that you shouldn't expect anything but death.